Well, good afternoon, and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. It is Sunday, March 27th, the fourth Sunday of Lent, and this fourth Sunday of Lent is also known as Laetare Sunday, which Laetare means joyful, very similar to Gaudete Sunday. Um, so which takes place during Advent. So Laetare is taken from the first words of the introit at Mass, in which Laetare Jerusalem, which means rejoice, O Jerusalem. Um, like I said, it parallels the Gaudete Sunday because Laetare means rejoice, and Gaudete means joy or praise. And so, which um, that third Sunday of Advent for Gaudete Sunday is kind of a break from the Advent season of penance that reminds us of the joy that is to come for the birth of Jesus, right? So then on the flip side of that, and runs parallel to that, is Laetare Sunday, which, like I said, we celebrate today, reminds us of another joyful event that is that we look forward to at the end of this current Lenten penitential season. And that, of course, is the joy of the resurrection. So as we joyfully anticipate that during our Lenten sacrifice that takes place on Easter Sunday. So it's kind of a rebirth in the spiritual world with Christ's resurrection as what it is to the birth of Jesus, the man, by Mother Mary during Advent that leads up to Christmas. So there's a little did you know from the Catholic world. And both are symbolized. If you are Catholic and you went to Mass this morning, you'll notice that the priest wore or should have worn rose-colored vestments at Mass to signify that parallel and that joyfulness that is to come during the middle of those two penitential seasons. So anyway, we should get to the gospel. And that gospel today is from Luke chapter 15, verses 1 through 3 and 11 through 32. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. The tax collectors and sinners were all drawing near to listen to him. But the Pharisees and scribes began to complain, saying, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." So to them he addressed this parable. Then he said, "A man had 2 sons, and the younger son said to his father, 'Father, give me the share of your estate that should come to me.' So the father divided the property between them. After a few days, the younger son collected all his belongings and set off to a distant country where he squandered his inheritance on a life of dissipation. When he had freely spent everything, a severe famine struck that country, and he found himself in dire need. So he hired himself out to one of the local citizens who sent him to his farm to tend the swine. And he longed to eat his fill of the pods on which the swine fed, but nobody gave him any. Coming to his senses, he thought, 'How many of my father's hired workers have more than enough food to eat, but yet here I am, dying from hunger. I shall get up and go to my father, and I shall say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer desire to be called your son. Treat me as you would treat one of your hired workers.' So he got up and went back to his father. While he was still a long way off, his father caught sight of him and was filled with compassion. He ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son.' But his father ordered his servants, 'Quickly bring the finest robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Take the fattened calf and slaughter it. Then let us celebrate with a feast, because this son of mine was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found.' Then the celebration began. Now the older son had been out in the field, and on his way back, as he neared the house, he heard the sound of music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked what this might mean. The servant said to him, 'Your brother has returned, and your father has slaughtered the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound.' He became angry, and when he refused to enter the house, his father came out and pleaded with him. He said to his father in reply, "Look, all these years I served you, and not once did I disobey your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat to feast on with my friends. But when your son returns, who swallowed up your property with prostitutes, for him you slaughter the fattened calf." He said to him, "My son, you are here with me always. Everything I have is yours. But now we must celebrate and rejoice, because your brother was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found." So we've heard the parable of the lost son before, which is here today in the gospel, and we get a sense that, of the jealousy of the son who has always done the father's what his dad has asked, and then we have the son who had went off, done his own thing, and then returned. And we see jealousy from one, but then humility from the other one, who has been lovingly embraced by his father. And this parable should be our relationship to God the Father as well. And that is what I think we should reflect on today as we are in the middle of Lent, with this Laetare Sunday of rejoice, and kind of do like a little mid-Lenten reflection upon what is it that you chose to do for Lent this year, this season. Did you give something up? Did you decide to do something extra? What is it that you need to continue doing, or what is it that you need to change? Maybe do a little self-reflection and see if you need to make any adjustments to make sure that whatever it is that you are doing is geared solely out of love and rejoicing of God the Father's love for you and me. Because I was having a discussion earlier today with somebody in which our Lenten observances should be geared towards love of God the Father, because God the Father treats us with that same love undeservedly to us, like what the Father did to this lost son in today's gospel. So we need to make sure that we are doing it fully for him. So whatever it is that we're doing for Lent shouldn't just be something that happens during Lent and then suddenly we stop. Like if I try to do this or that, the other during Lent, and then once Easter Sunday comes, and then I go right back to living my old way and living my old way to life, and if I give up whatever it might be, fill in the blank, or if I decide to do something, fill in the blank. If you don't continue that on, Lent was kind of it was still good, but it wasn't as fruitful as what it should have been. So just kind of today on Laetare Sunday, on this little mini Easter in the middle of Lent, kind of just do a little reflection and see what it is that you do, or what you might need to make a slight adjustment, so that you can anticipate and have greater joy whenever it comes to be Easter Sunday here in a few weeks. So have a great day. God bless. Keep it real. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.